Hey everybody, welcome to the Cutting Edge. I hope that you are having a fabulous July 4th afternoon, despite the fact that a cookout is now 17% higher, 17%, not cents, 17% higher than it was last year, thanks to creepy old Joe Biden. Well, let's not settle on that. Let's get to the review. This is the Condor Gryphus, if I said that right, Bowie. I was looking for something lightweight to have around for doing yard work, chopping limbs, small branches, etc., things like that. And I was initially looking for the Hudson Bay knife by Condor. I went to Blade Runner Knives here in Tucson, Arizona, and while they didn't have the Hudson Bay, they did have this. It was more than I wanted to pay, but I did get a bit of a discount, and I'll talk about that more later. The knife comes in at about 11, it's less than 12 ounces, 11 point something ounces, I can't remember exactly. It's a extremely attractive piece with this hammered finish and the micarta handles, and then this 1075 steel, and the stainless butt plate on here if you want to do some hammering. The sheath is a mixture of kydex and leather. One of the things that a couple of things that I don't like about the sheath is, first of all, you can see that it's going to wear as you snap it in and out. It's going to wear on the micarta there on the scales. Secondly, is once you snap this retention clip in place, there is no rotation. If you're familiar with the Condor knives and their machetes, almost every single one of them has a pivot on the sheath so that this moves back and forth on your belt and doesn't get stuck. Having said that, it's not extremely long, so it's not a super big deal, but it's just something worth noting. So the thing is, however, that for what I'm using it for in the backyard, is it worth the price as compared to, say, something like this, just your, basic K-bar. This is actually the dog's head model. This looks a lot like the D2 Extreme model in terms of the pommel and the guard, and it's very comfortable in the hand with the leather stacked grip, and it's got this wicked clip point. And honestly, this thing chopped through everything that I used the Condor for. And these are about 85 on Amazon, I believe right now, 85, 86. Nice leather sheath. Obviously no pivot, but it's only really an ounce lighter than the Condor, so that's not, much. Your other alternative, of course, is something like this, and this is an Ontario Knives machete, the smaller one. This is, I think, 12-inch blade or something like that. This also has a sawback on it, which is very useful. But in terms of carrying this on your belt, it's a little much. That being said, the sheath with this does have a pivot, in case you want to wear it on your belt, and it has a sharpener right up here at the top, which sharpens the blade every time you draw it out. This is by far the cheapest alternative. I think these are about 20 bucks. That being said, this weighs a full pound, but it's only, 5 or 6 more ounces than the K-Bar and the Condor Bowie. I will say, in terms of aesthetics, come on, baby. I do like the Condor. It's obviously very thick. The jimping up here is nice for getting a grip. I do love micarta, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I like clip points. I think this is probably more of a harpoon point or something. But again, so this retailed for more than 140 bucks. It was the last one they had in the shop. It's got scratches on the finish from being in and out of the kydex sheath, and he didn't have a box with it, so I got a discount. But again, for example, I don't know how well you can see that. If you look at the edge there, and it's sharp, don't get me wrong, this thing is sharp and it cuts nicely, but if you look at the edge there versus here, it's uneven on the grind, okay? I like it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to carry it. The only, one of the things that I found was interesting is that if you go online and look for a review of this particular knife, Bowie, machete, whatever you want to call it, there really isn't one. There's like a tabletop or an unboxing, but I want to know what's it like in the field. So the only one Condor has is some guy on his motorcycle with this attached to his belt, and it's, in that regard, it's very cool, and it's very, Sons of Anarchy-ish. But then again, we all know, if you've seen the show, that a K-bar will go right through somebody's radiator. So where do I go with this? Like I said, it's very comfortable in the hand. I love the micarta. The sheath is the sheath is fine. Honestly, it really is. It's going to scratch up the micarta, but it's a tool, right? So you're going to use it, and that's going to happen. In the end, do I think it's worth the price tag compared to, and I won't even compare it to the Ontario, because that's a machete and it's, that's what it's made for. But compared to, say, the K-bar, which is made in America, and this is a classic, or compared to the Hudson Bay, I don't know. I'm going to order a Hudson Bay, and then once I get it, I'll do a comparison contrast. Bottom line is, I want to give props to the owner of Blade Runner Knives here in Tucson, because he gave me a good deal, and he's a heck of a guy, and he's got a great shop. So I encourage you to swing by and take a look. But at the end of the day, would I buy this again for the money? No. It's a great tool. It does the job, but I think that it's just overpriced for what you get. So, cheers on the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Have a great afternoon, and thanks for watching.